unfortunately, Tesla robotaxis are still on the road, even though they probably shouldn't be. If you look up any full self-driving video on YouTube that demos the tech, you quickly see why we should not allow these things on the road. The amount of times a human being has to interact with this car to correct its behavior is absurd. And if you buy one of these cars, the last thing you want to be is this guy who caused an 8-car pileup allegedly using autopilot. And also, it is very likely that Tesla disables autopilot right before an accident happens to avoid all liability. People act like that's a conspiracy theory, but there's so many people posting about it, and even in the Mark Rober video, that happened. Tesla is just a garbage company pushing vaporware that will never actually exist. Full self-driving will never exist. That's why the robotaxis have drivers in them still. And even with having safety supervisors in the car, the robotaxis are still crashing. Back in September, 3 separate crashes happened with robotaxis in Austin, Texas, and that's all we know for now. Tesla has this weird legal loophole where they can basically hide all accident data from people because, you know, they know their product is horrible. I cannot think of a different reason why you would obfuscate your crash data and try to hide it this much if you weren't trying to hide something. But these 3 accidents in September make up for 7 robotaxi accidents total so far that we know of. And since Tesla hides the crash data, we should probably just assume these robotaxis have killed hundreds of people because we don't know otherwise. But the amount of crashes the Tesla robotaxi has had is pretty insane when you consider the fact there's a guy in the car, like they have a safety driver in the car, and it's still crashing this often. That's really bad. That means the car is messing up so egregiously that the human being in the car cannot correct it at all. It's just straight up hitting things. And realistically, Tesla robotaxi will never get much better because remember, Elon Musk decided that he will only use cameras for full self-driving, which everyone but him agrees is stupid. The original cars weren't even that great for full self-driving, but they were much better than camera-only vision. Having ultrasonic sensors and cameras together is just literally common sense. Like if you're traveling on autopilot at 75 miles an hour, I want a backup to cameras. That should not be too much to ask. The car is like $50-something thousand. How is 5-cent ultrasonic sensors too much of an ask? And with the current amount of accidents that Tesla robotaxi has had based off of miles driven, it is already significantly worse than a person. The Tesla robotaxi so far crashes about 7 times every 300,000 miles. And to put that into perspective, a human being will crash on average about 1 every 700,000 miles. So if you're going off of statistics, the Tesla robotaxi is a death trap. I really don't know how much longer Tesla can go on playing this facade of inventing things, but they're not inventing anything. Like eventually people are gonna be like, okay dude, you promised me full self-driving and it never came, and I was okay with that. And then you promised me the Roadster and then it never came and I was okay with that too. But the robots, you didn't do the robots yet, I'm done. Like eventually people are gonna hit a point where they just got lied to enough times and they just give up because it's insane. Anything Tesla has recently announced will more likely than not never release. Like the robot army, that's never gonna exist. Also, it looks really sad and pathetic. Like, I'm sorry, the Tesla robots are pathetic. They're weak and feeble. Almost every other robot I've seen is just way better, except for this like Russian one. And if you're second to last only before Russia, Jesus, that's sad. But that's been the video. Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. New click the answers down. Check out more of my content and have a good one.